Okay, I'm about to bring on my co-host, who was very instrumental and very much enlightened me about a lot of things. He's become a close friend to me and like a brother. Brother Tariq P. Alexander.
Hotep, sisters and brothers. We have a very informative lecture for you this evening with our guest speaker, Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan. Dr. Ben will be lecturing on Africa and Western civilization. For those of you who are familiar with Dr. Ben, you won't be surprised at what he has to say. For those of you who are not familiar with Dr. Ben, I ask that you listen very closely and critique his message and not the messenger. After Dr. Ben lectures, we're going to have about a 35-minute question and answer period. During this question and answer period, I'll ask that you line up behind a microphone here in a single file and that you limit yourself to one question per person. We don't want to wear out our elder. Before I give you the bio on Dr. Ben, I must take this time to introduce some people who've been very instrumental to me in helping me put this program together. They're not members of the police department, but they were very inspiring nonetheless. So when I call your name, please stand, and would you please help me by acknowledging them? Mr. Vance Hinton. Mr. Hampton Ricard. And this sister, I have to mention her name. This wouldn't be going on if it wasn't for her. The sister's name is Lorraine Corelli. And also Sister Pat Stevens. I have one more person that I want to acknowledge, and I'm going to ask her to stand. I'm saving it up for last, but by no means is she the least. She's inspired me all through my life. For I owe her everything, for she bared me life. Would you please help me acknowledge my mother, Miss Amy Alexander. Yosef Ben-Jochannan, the son of Julia and Christian Jochannan, the father of 12 biological and 6 adopted children, husband of Gertrude M. England, was educated in the public schools of Brazil, the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix, and Puerto Rico. He received a PhD in cultural anthropology in Cuba and a PhD in Moorish history in Spain. He has also received his LLB law degree. Dr. Ben is also an architect. Dr. Ben, as he's so affectionately known, has practiced law in as assistant prosecutor in Puerto Rico, and has also worked as a civil engineer for both Puerto Rico and the United States. From 1945 to 1970, Dr. Ben was the chief of the African Desk of the United Nations Education Scientific Cultural Organization, called UNESCO, dealing with the cultural, anthropology, historical, and archaeological information. He's also served as a civilian advisor to the Permanent African Mission of the United Nations from 1957 to 1964. Dr. Ben has taught at numerous universities in Africa, the Caribbean, North America, and also South America. Dr. Ben is presently a professor at Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt, recently retired from Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. Dr. Ben is the chairman of the Akabulan Foundation, Akabulan Books and Educational Materials. He is an author of 28 published books, 16 unpublished books, and a 6-volume encyclopedia on Africa. Dr. Ben is presently conducting an educational tours to Egypt in the Nile Valley, and is presently directing the archaeological dig in Aswan, Egypt. Dr. Ben recently celebrated his Jubilee year in Egypt, March 1939 to March 1989. Dr. Ben is a special advisor for the festival in Aswan, Egypt, 1991. the first African-Nubian festival ever in Egypt. We are most fortunate to be in the same space as this multi-genius, our elder, our brother. I give you Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters. I probably should have started with an African greeting. However, which one should I pick out when we are all Africans and we may have different languages? So to make my lecture all inclusive and conclusive, let me start by expressing my appreciation for the guardians having brought me here to speak to them, and they will speak in turn to me. Let me start out, since the guardian would protect me, and this is one time when no one will mug me this is the time they should try. I know I will have ample protection. But let us start out with law itself. I wonder why it is that we have to struggle so often in every area of life that we find ourselves. As we go up, and that's a question mark, the harder it becomes. And many people say it's because we are black. Quite to the contrary, it's because they are white. I remember someone told me, as a matter of fact, they asked me, where was I during the blackout? And I said, no place. And he said, how do you mean? I said, there have never been a blackout. And then they tried to tell me what time in New York they had a blackout. And I said, no, they had a light out. If you take off the lights in here, it'll be black, because it was always black. They put light. Black is never out. Black is always in. And so we start to talk about law. Well, let's talk about law. It's the best place to start with the guardians. From whom do we get the law? Did we get it from someone named Moses? Not at all. That is a Jewish story, allegory. Has nothing at all to do with truth. Now, that caused a lot of problems. Because when we're talking about Moses and the 10 Commandments, where is he getting these 10 Commandments? In a place called Egypt, and the last time I looked at Egypt, and that was last Friday, it was still in Africa. But look, Moses is living in a society where there is law. In Egypt, there was a system of law when Moses allegedly was born around the 18th dynasty. He was born after Akhenaten had already died. There is a set of laws they call the admonitions to Goddess Ma'at, or the negative confessions, out of which Moses adopted 10 out of 42, leaving 32 more. There is a law that Moses himself is charged with, killing, murder, killing the soldier of the Pharaoh. Of course, they don't give us the name of the Pharaoh, but based upon the time period that they're talking, it must have been Ramesses II or his father, Setai I, or at worst, his son, Asakana. He had over 42 sons. Nevertheless, the laws that he's supposed to get, those 10, were already taught for umpteen years. It was taught in the Grand Lodge of Luxor that he went, Luxor, by the way, is Waset. They were taught at the Grand Lodge at Saqqara, where even Abraham wasn't born. Even the name Jehovah didn't exist yet. There was no God named Jehovah, no God named Jesus, no God named Allah yet. When the Africans along the Nile, and in particular at the Grand Lodge of Saqqara, was teaching the concept of law and order. If you doubt me, then they said, the proof of the pudding is not in the smelling, but the eating. You then go and get a copy of the Book of the Coming Forth by Day and by Night. And that preceded, there was no Genesis yet. I am talking about the book that started before even the dynastic period. That will carry us back to 6,000 before the Christian era. And you will find it there in a section called Osirian Drama. I know that you all using this book since it's a black book, and I'm just trying to refresh your memory. I know that you prefer another book called the Old Testament or the book of Genesis, but before God made the world, I'm talking about when we were making the world. See, since the God that you're dealing with is Michelangelo's cousin,